Hey everyone. In this video I want to talk to you about people who have kind eyes. I'm sure a lot of you know what I'm talking about here. They're people who have this kind of look behind their eyes where it kind of conveys kindness and that they're a good, nice person. It's a really interesting thing because our eyes convey a lot of emotion, but they can also convey a lot of information about who we are as a person. For instance, I'm sure a lot of you can think of people you've seen before who had really hard eyes, people who looked kind of rough, like they'd had a tough, difficult life and it made them create a hardened exterior over time. People who kind of look non-approachable because they just have this sort of harshness to their eyes, right? I'm sure you've all experienced that. So along with that, there are people who have the opposite. People who have kind eyes, eyes that just convey that they're approachable, that they're likely a nice and a good person. And it's a very interesting thing because the more you notice this in other people, it can give you an idea of who is someone who may be worth your while in terms of meeting a new friend or a potential romantic interest. If you meet people who have that kind of look to their eyes, you probably can already get an idea of them being a good person, which means that they would potentially be a good partner because, hey, I mean, we all want to date and end up in long-term relationships with people who are kind, right? At least that should be the ideal. If you don't want that, then it may be because you believe you don't deserve someone who will treat you well or whatever it may be. It could be due to insecurities, but for the most part, ideally, we want a partner who treats us well. And people with those kind eyes are usually going to do that. In fact, I'm willing to say 100% of the time they would, because I don't believe you can fake those kind eyes. There's something that come from who you are as a person, and you can't really fake that. I don't believe you can, at least not 100% of the time. At some point, the look would fade because you're putting on an act. So I really don't think people can necessarily fool you into believing that they have that look to them. So it's a very intriguing, I guess, characteristic to look for in others. Pay attention to people who have those kind eyes. In fact, I haven't really met all that many people in my life who've had them, but the people who have were always just incredible to be around, and they're just incredible people. And you can even kind of discern this quality via photographs, via images of people. You don't need to necessarily tell from in person, although that's probably the best way to know because you'll be able to make eye contact with them. But you can even tell if you're into online dating, you can usually tell if somebody has kind eyes just from their images. If they have a lot of photos of just their upper body and they're looking into the camera, you can usually get an idea who is like that. In fact, some of you I've noticed even have kind eyes. Some of you have been following me for a while. There are a few of you who I've even video chatted with, and I can just I feel like, why not? I'll name drop a bit here, but people like Ivy, Sher, and Muna, if you're watching, all three of you have those kind eyes, and I hope you recognize that because it's a great quality to have. But yeah, I mean, it's an incredible thing, and pay more attention to people's eyes when communicating, when you're out and about, because they can reveal a lot about who someone is. And always view it as a good thing if you see someone who has that kind look into their eyes. So anyway, I just wanted to make a quick video on this subject because it's just something I was thinking about recently because I ran into somebody who had that look, and I've just noticed that it's a very intriguing quality that people can have. So I wanted to make a video just to see how many of you have been able to notice that in other people, and whether or not every single person you've encountered with that look in their eyes is actually a kind and good person, because I wager they would be. I really believe you can't fake that. I don't see how you'd be able to. But anyway, I just want to make a video on this. So I'm going to end it here, but if you enjoyed this, feel free to like, comment, and share to help boost that algorithm for my videos. And please let me know your thoughts on this. Have you encountered people with kind eyes, and were they actually a kind person? Have you ever been in a relationship with someone who had that look in their eyes? Because I'm just curious how your experience was with them, because it's a very interesting thing, and it kind of shows how there's so much more depth to human connection than we normally think about. But anyway, I'm gonna end the video here. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Arrivederci!